Good morning, zookeepers, and welcome back to Planet Zoo. Today I'm going to be making an enclosure for the Bongo. It's a creature I haven't made an enclosure for yet, and as well I've also changed map because my original map where I build my enclosures on Thursdays is kind of getting a bit laggy because there's so much going on in that now, so I thought, yeah, it's about time that we go to a different map and start again from fresh, and I'm going to actually try and keep it to a kind of theme. So what I mean by that is I really like the Oceania theme, so that's the kind of like vibe I'm going to go for with a lot of this stuff. Obviously it will change here and there depending on what I'm doing, but the overall theme of everywhere around the zoo will feel and look kind of like the same. Now isn't necessarily another zoo build. I got Mesa Zoo. I have no idea if I will call this zoo a name because I don't know if I'm going to try and make it look like a zoo more than just me building enclosures for different animals. So yeah, well, we'll see how it turns out. As you see right now, I was going to like try and keep the housing very similar. I do end up changing this up in the future of this video because in the end I didn't really like it. I mean, it looked alright, but it just wasn't the vibe I was going for. And I do slightly change the shape of the enclosure itself, because when I finish making this, as you can see, like I'm just going around doing all the different colours. Maybe I should have cut this out because I never end up using it, but it's part of the process. It's part of the process. When I'm making enclosures, they don't always stay the same all the way through. Like right now, I'm doing a concrete base because I knew I wanted that as part of the like a off-show area where I could lock them in if I wanted to, so they were sort of off-show when they were sorting out the enclosure, things like this. That's the kind of build-up I had in it. And it ends up being pretty big and taking up a lot of the enclosure space. So in the end, even though I'm building it in the enclosure, I do drag out the enclosure, change the shape ever so slightly, so it's like they funnel in from the off-show area into the enclosure, you know, back and forth like that. And honestly, I really did enjoy making this. Like, it took me a while to get like a rough idea of how I wanted it to look. Each part of these fences are just 3 pieces, 2 of the barnyard fence and then this wooden paneling, which I don't know if it's base game or part of a pack, I really couldn't remember. And then I wanted like a modernish sort of simple kind of shelter for them. I could have done with the ones that were already pre-built, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and make my own, make it a little bit different to what's there. There was a animal collection, more of a petting zoo than a zoo, and they had deer, and the kind of shelters they had for them were really simple but kind of like nice looking. And it was literally just like corrugated sheets outside and the back, a corrugated metal roof at an angle, but like the walls weren't all the way to the top. It was literally there just to give them like a bit of wind block and privacy from certain angles, which I thought was kind of cool, quite nice. It took me a while to realise why it wasn't lining up properly, and it was because the roof is at the same angle as the floor, because it's not completely straight, it's just sort of like plonked in the middle. I was going to originally make it so everything was straight and level, but I already have the cube around the outside, so I thought it'd be kind of weird if everything's like completely aligned. It'd be way too noticeable and slightly annoying to me anyways. And then we just go and add like a hill in the middle with like lots of rock and things. This is going to be where the majority of the trees are in the enclosure are going to be, so it's going to be like a centerpiece, as it were, that blocks views from one side to the other side of the fence line, so you kind of actually have to walk around the entire enclosure to get different views and see the bongos. And it gives the bongos like a hiding place if it's not a busy day. For example, if they don't want to be seen, they can go from left to right, and they've got this barrier in the middle that can kind of hide them. And plus there's like tons of plants and things going to be knocking around on it. I'm going to do all the plants and things as well are like what they like. I like doing this, going through the menu and just finding what plants they like, and luckily the Bongo theme kind of goes quite well with the Oceania themes. It looks like we're on a somewhat of a tropical island anyways, so I don't know if I will keep going on with the animals like that theme, or if I do end up sort of like well, let's do an overall sort of Oceania theme kind of like build to try and keep the majority of the trees the same, because obviously some trees, let's say we did a European animal, some of those trees might not survive in that like tropical kind of humid climate. It might kill them off, so you know that tree isn't really going to survive, so you won't place that in. And I'll try and, like, you know, kind of mix it up a bit so we keep that overall like tropical theme. But anyways, I really enjoyed making this. I really enjoyed like watching them move around. Also, we have this modern fence, and then the fence behind it, what I call the stupid fence, because it's literally to stop people from getting too close to the enclosure, putting their hands through the mesh or getting prodded by a horn. Because you know, if you didn't have the stupid fence in place, you know people are going to do stupid things and get themselves hurt. Obviously in this game it doesn't happen, but it's a realism like pointing. It's also known as a standoff barrier, is its actual name. But I just call it stupid people fence because it names the title of the job that fence has to do. And also kind of protects the animals as well. I don't know what happens to that zookeeper there, they kind of like glitched. I think they were trying to get past a bongo in the game, just couldn't register what was going on, so it was like zoop. But it's a great example of them using it as a funnel to get into the enclosure itself. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this and it's given you some inspiration with your builds. I know I've enjoyed making this. It was nice and simple, and I can't wait for next week and decide which animal I'm going to do. But yes, as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, I'll see you later.